What's going on, everyone? Bass here. It is Thursday, so that means yet another Green Bay Packers 7-round mock draft. This will be version 8.0, and we'll only have 2 more episodes after this one until we are at draft night. Also, I wanted to let you guys know I will be doing a collaborative mock draft with other YouTube content creators for other teams via the Walk the Mock website on Sunday, April 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will be live streaming that, so definitely make sure to stop on by. And I did make one change for this week's episode, so I'll still be using the Draft Network's mock draft simulator, but I made a custom draft board to make this a little bit more realistic. Basically, it's over 60 plus draft boards compiled into one, giving each player an average position and a more accurate spot. So this should really make players get drafted right around where they're supposed to be and not have some of these players fall into the later rounds like we've seen in prior episodes. As for any Green Bay updates, a small one in being that Sammy Watkins is visiting today. A deal hasn't happened yet, but with my luck, they'll sign him the moment I finish this video and make this mock draft. And if they do, it really only changes one thing, and that's that the fact that the Packers would probably only draft 2 receivers rather than 3 receivers if they do sign Sammy Watkins, but wide receiver is still a early need regardless. And then, of course, the other usual needs at edge, safety, right tackle, and defensive line. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get this started and bring up the draft screen. And as we see here, everything pretty similar. Just you will see the board looks a little bit different from last week. Certain players in different positions. Like I said, it's an average between 60 different draft boards over the internet, and it compiles them all together. So it will be more realistic in my opinion. So let's get this thing started and get the first 5 picks out of the way. And wow, Kyle Hamilton goes second. Okay, so Hutchinson first, Hamilton second. Thibodeau goes third to the Texans, Evan Neal to the Jets, and Ekwono to the Giants. Trayvon Walker's still here. I mean, there's some talk going around that Trayvon Walker could even go number 1 overall, so I don't see him falling. I know, as I just said, it should be more realistic, but I don't see him falling past 5 at all. Sauce Gardner's still on the board as well. Charles Cross goes Trayvon Walker at 7. I was going to say, if somehow he falls to 10, I'm going to trade up, but he didn't. Let's round. Wow, Garrett Wilson at 8. Okay, so the likelihood of a wide receiver going in the top 10, I think, is likely, whether that be to someone like the Falcons or a team trading up, maybe a little bit to get someone like Garrett Wilson or Drake London. But as we see here, Garrett Wilson goes to the Falcons, Malik Willis to the Seahawks, and Sauce Gardner to the Jets. So I was looking at the board, and obviously Drake London, Jameson Williams, and Chris Olave are still on the board. I would like to nab one of these wide receivers with our first pick. As I said, I'm almost playing this as if the Packers would sign Sammy Watkins or nonetheless sign a free agent wide receiver to take some of those snaps. Now, the interesting thing about if that situation were to happen is with Jameson Williams. Now, he may not be ready week 1, but if we have, a couple veterans added into the room or in Sammy Watkins, and then we still have Randall Cobb, Allen Lazard, Amari Rodgers, and probably another rookie as well, it would kind of give Jameson Williams that time to come back. Now, he usually gets picked by one of the Saints or Eagles picks at 16, 18, or 19. So I think if he falls to 18, I will try trading up for him. But nonetheless, let's continue this draft. He's kind of the only target I have right now that I might trade up for. All right, so the next 5 picks out of the way. Derek Stingley to the Commanders, Jordan Davis to the Vikings, Trevor Penning to the Texans, Jermaine Johnson to the Ravens, and Drake London goes to the Eagles. So the Eagles won't take another receiver at 18. So really the main thing here would be, are the Saints going to take Jameson Williams or Kenny Pickett here, or even Karlaftis here at 16? I think I'm going to roll the dice and let it go to 18, and if Jameson Williams gets selected, hey, we still have the odds of Chris Olave, Treylon Burks as well. So I think I'm going to let it ride. I might regret this, and I do. Jameson Williams goes at 16 to the Saints. So there's likely no chance that the Eagles or Saints will take Olave in their next picks. Saints are likely to take Kenny Pickett here. Let's see if they do. They do. So at this point, I know I draft Chris Olave a lot, but if he falls to 22, I'm going to have to. The Patriots could take him, but I don't feel the need to trade up right here, and they don't. They take Kare Elam, and Andrew Booth goes at 20 to the Steelers. So I don't think I'm going to waste any time here. Chris Olave is the 17th ranked player across 60-plus draft boards. Who knows if he'll be here at 22? I could see him going a little bit earlier. If Drake London and Jameson Williams aren't on the board at 15, if one of those are taken earlier, I could see easily the other one and Olave going to the Eagles and Saints in one of these selections here. So who knows? Like I said, if Chris Olave will be here at 22, but regardless, I know I probably drafted him over half of these mock drafts, but it's an obvious need. I really like Chris Olave. I think he fits right into this offense. Great route runner. And it would just be really nice to see him in that Matt LaFleur offense with Aaron Rodgers, and I think it's a no-brainer here at 22. So pick 22, I am drafting Chris Olave from Ohio State. All right, so now we are at pick 28, and Devonte Wyatt's still on the board. I believe he's going to be, 24 years old or even 25 by the time the league's year starts. So not necessarily interested there at 28. I just think there's other needs. Ajabo's interesting. I've talked about him in past. Boye Mafe, I think he's also going to be 24 or 25. I really do like Daxton Hill, but Lewis Cine is also here, and Brisker, and Petre even, which all four of these guys I like. I made a video recently explaining why safety is a bigger need than most people think. And for these four are the guys I really like for the Packers around this mark. But considering all four are here, I think I'm going to express and try to trade back a little bit and still get one of these guys and maybe pick up another, second or third or fourth round draft choice. All right, so now we are at pick 28, and like I said, I'm going to try to trade down. I like the Jets position considering they have 35 and 38, so I'm going to try to get both of those picks by giving pick 28 our third round because, hey, let's face it, the Packers really never do good in the third round. So if I could land 4 second-round picks out of this and get 4 really good players in the second round, that would be awesome. And then also giving up a 7th round. For some reason, the Draft Network has the Packers with 2 7th-round picks. They do have 3 because they have a compensatory selection there as well. So hopefully they fix that soon. But with this draft trade, we will be getting rid of 1. So I'm going to go ahead and send this offer and see what they say. Might have to, it's denied. So I might have to move the 7th up to the earlier one and see if they accept it. And they should here. They do. Okay. So let's see, like I said, if one of these safeties, which there's 4 left, one of them should fall to 35. I would love Daxton Hill or Lewis Cine, but I wouldn't mind Brisker or Petre at all. So I'm going to go ahead and let this play out. And Daxton Hill goes, so hopefully Lewis Cine falls here. I'm really hoping he does. And hopefully the Lions didn't. Okay, they did it. Perfect. So this is an easy pick for me. I talked about Lewis Cine. This dude is a vicious hitter. The Packers need a third linebacker. I say linebacker because he could play in the box. A third safety. They really, really do. And don't be surprised if they select one in the second round, whether that be with their natural pick or a trade down like this. Looking at Lewis Cine's PFF grade, an 82.4 in 2021 with an 81.4 coverage grade, 83.4 run defense grade, 11.9 force incompletion rate, 7 force incompletions. He only allowed 1 touchdown, had 1 interception. I mean, this dude can play deep. He can play in the box. He can play in the slot. I think he's a very, very versatile safety. I really like him. He's flying up boards, could even go in the back end of the first round. And I think, hey, we drafted a Georgia defensive back last year. It's working out well. Let's do it again, and let's get our safety here with Lewis Cine out of Georgia at pick 35. So just 3 picks later, we pick again at 38 due to that trade to the Jets. Brisker goes right after our pick, and then Kyler Gordon as well to the Texans there at 37. And then now I'm going to try to address edge, and one of my favorite edge rushers who I think could also go in the bottom end of the first round, Arnold Ebiketie from Penn State. Now, we could go with someone like Nakobe Dean here. The Packers could use another linebacker, and it would be nice to pair Nakobe Dean with Devondre Campbell, but I think there is more of a need at edge, and Arnold Ebiketie checks all those boxes. You could also go another wide receiver with Christian Watson, but we have 2 more picks in the second round that we could go other receivers such as George Pickens, Sky Moore, John Mechie, so I'm kind of comfortable getting our edge here, because if you go down, there's still Drake Jackson, who I do like, but Nick Bonito, little small, 6'3", 248, and then Cameron Thomas I do like as well, but I like Ebiketie more than all these guys. And if we go to his PFF grade, I mean, the dude's an absolute monster. 88.4 grade in 2021. He had 8 sacks, 12 hits, 32 hurries. He had a 90.5 pass rush grade, a 78.3 run defense grade, and a ridiculous 22.9 pass rush win rate. This dude could start right away, but he obviously won't have to with Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary in the building, but they both play around 64% of snaps. I say this all the time. You need a rotational guy and a good guy at that. I like Tipanali, I like John Garvin, but Ebiketie is worlds above both of them. So this is an easy pick for me at pick 38. I'm choosing Arnold Ebiketie from Penn State. All right, so here at pick 53, we have a few options. We already got a safety in Lewis Cine. I do like Petre, but I wouldn't double dip here in the second round at safety. We have Sky Moore on the board, who is a very interesting prospect. Trey McBride's on the board, John Mechie. So probably one of these guys. There's also a couple defensive linemen and Perry and Winfrey and Mathis here. And then also Tyler Smith, who says interior offensive line, but he played left tackle in college and was damn good at it. He's a versatile player that the Packers could look at in the second round. But I'm very, very tempted to draft Sky Moore here. All right, so with this pick, I am going to indeed go Sky Moore. I don't know if I've drafted him in another mock. I may have, but I do like Sky Moore. If we look at his PFF grade here, 91.8. The dude played really, really well last year. 94 receptions on 125 targets, 1,291 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Now, he played most of his snaps out wide, but he also had slot, and he played more slot the year before. He can play anywhere. This dude is versatile. You don't want to restrict him to only one spot. So you wouldn't say, oh, Sky Moore, just play outside, or Sky Moore, just play slot. This dude is a gadget player, and not in the sense of, oh, why would you draft a gadget player in the second round? No, he can do it all. He's a yak weapon. He's probably the most elusive guy in this draft, and I think the Packers kind of been missing a guy, especially at wide receiver, like this in the past years, and again, especially with a coach like Matt LaFleur that could utilize him so well in so many different ways. And as we see here, he had a FBS high 26. He broke 26 tackles last year. I mean, this dude is the definition of a yak beast, and I really, really like him. You see here, couldn't touch him in a phone booth kind of agility. Zero issues getting off the line of scrimmage, even against Michigan and Pittsburgh. If people are always talking about his level of competition. He may be short, but he's not small, so he doesn't fit that height threshold, but he's got the weight at 195. He can break tackles. Only 3 drops last year. And you see all his stats down here as well. I really, really like him. He's a player that could slip into the first round as well, and that's kind of the theme our last couple of picks. Double dipping at wide receiver here, even if the Packers were to sign someone like Sammy Watkins, I think is a thing that can happen. So getting Chris Olave and Sky Moore on top of the other 2 players we got in Lewis Cine and Ebiketie would be amazing. So with this pick at 53, I am going Sky Moore out of Western Michigan. So with this pick here at 59, I think I want to address offensive line, and I've been doing a little bit more research into Tyler Smith out of Tulsa, and the dude is an absolute mauler in the run game. Now, he played only left tackle at Tulsa, but he's likely to transition into guard, could possibly play some right tackle. He's going to be a guard in the NFL. Considering his run blocking, he kind of struggles a little bit in the pass game. As we see here, run block grade of 93.9, a pass block of 75.3. But what I like about him, again, versatility. He's 6'5", 324 pounds. He's only going to be 21. He's 21 years old right now. And the Packers do need another lineman. And what this would allow for when Elgton Jenkins comes back is to have Elgton Jenkins as your full-time right tackle, which I think is the future at right tackle, could be the future at right tackle. And then also, even before Elgton Jenkins comes back, if you want to run Tyler Smith at right guard, Royce Newman had some snaps in practice last year at right tackle. I think he could play right tackle in a pinch, or, of course, Josh Nijman could just play right tackle like they might do as well. But Tyler Smith allows you to move your pieces and give the best 5 offensive linemen out there at a time, and he's a great player for the future, a great lineman for the future, the Packers offensive line, in my opinion. So Tyler Smith is my pick here at 59 out of Tulsa. All right, so here we are at pick 113. It's not our pick, it is the Commander's pick, but someone is right on top of the board that I know will not last to 132. So I'm going to try to trade up because I've wanted to select him in about every single mock draft, and I haven't been able to. So I'm finally going to do it. giving up a 4th and a 7th, getting a 4th and a 7th, but also giving up a 5th next year. It's really the only option here. 6 won't do it. And like I said before, I don't really like to trade future picks for future years in mock drafts, but hey, it can happen in real life. If I had another 7th, maybe that would work if this website gave us the 3 7ths that the Packers actually have. But for now, giving up a 5th in 2022. But to get this guy, I'll happily do that. So I'll go ahead and send over the offer, and they accepted it. So, and as you see right at the top here, it is Jelani Woods out of Virginia, who has the best RAS score for a tight end in history. I mean, as we see here, he has a 10.0 RAS, tight end out of Virginia. I think he will be 24 when the league year starts, which, you know, it's okay. He's 6'7", 253 pounds, benched 24 reps, a 37.5 vertical, a 10-foot 9-inch broad jump, a 4.6 140 at 6'7", 253. It is ridiculous. A 2.62 20-yard split and a 1.57 10-yard split. 4.33 shuttle, and 6.95 3-cone. Woods would be the future at tight end for the Green Bay Packers in this Matt LaFleur offense, and the sky is the limit with Woods with his athleticism. He was a high school quarterback, and he was at Oklahoma State to be their quarterback, transferred to tight end in the late 2017 season. This guy is new to the position, but he's still a competitive blocker. He's a threat up the seam, and like I said, he's 6'7" and runs a 4.61. It's absolutely ridiculous. I really like him here in the 4th round. I think we're in the 4th round, pick 113. I think a team might take a shot on him in the 3rd round, potentially late 3rd round, just because of his athleticism, but the sky is the limit. And the Packers need someone like that. Like, I would love to see this guy turn into an absolute beast at tight end, which he definitely could, given the right situation, coaching, and all that. And I've been wanting to draft him in a mock draft, so I'm finally going to do it here at pick 113. Drafting Jelani Woods, tight end out of Virginia. So here at pick 140 in the 4th round, I'm very tempted. I was very tempted to grab one of these receivers in Tyquan Thornton or Danny Gray. Tyquan Thornton at speed is hard to pass up, but I got Olave, I got Sky Moore. I don't feel the need to draft another receiver in the 4th round, maybe in the 5th or the 7th. The other picks I have, I might do it, but I feel like I need to get some help on the defensive line, and that would be with Neil Farrell Jr. If I search him up real quick, if we get him up on the screen here. His PFF grade, 89.8 overall grade. I believe I drafted him in the last couple. I don't know if I drafted him in the last one or the one before that. I think in the 7th round, but obviously with this new board, he's a lot higher, which he should be. He shouldn't be there in the 7th round. He can play nose tackle for the Packers, allow them to move Kenny Clark around when they need to, or just give him some breather. Obviously, he doesn't play all the snaps. Neil Farrell had 1 sack, 4 hits, 19 hurries in 2021. 79.0 pass rush grade, a really, really nice 89.9 run defense grade with a 11.4 run stop rate. So with this pick at 140, I am going Neil Farrell Jr., defensive lineman out of LSU. Now we are at pick 171 in the 5th round. And as I said, this is where I might get a 3rd receiver. Like I said, as I'm doing this mock, the Packers have not signed Sammy Watkins. Even if they do, the chance is, they're at least drafting 2 receivers, which I've already done. They could even draft 3, to be honest. But in this case, hey, Sammy Watkins isn't on the team. The Packers haven't traded for a guy. They haven't signed a free agent as of right now. So I am going to get a 3rd receiver here in Kyle Phillips. He is a true slot receiver, and I think their 3rd receiver, if they were to get one, they should get a slot guy. They should get 2 outside guys first. Sky Moore has the ability to do both, but Kyle Phillips is a true slot receiver, and he's a very good punt returner, which will help the Packers a ton. They really need a guy like that. As we see in 2021, a 77.6 grade. As we see that 346 snaps in the slot, 59 receptions on 94 targets, 739 yards, and 10 touchdowns, 6 drops, 76.6 receiving grade, and an 80.6 grade versus man coverage. He's also a pretty good blocker in the run game, which obviously the Packers love their receivers to do that. And like I said, would be another nice addition, a really nice addition to this Packers receiver room, especially in the 5th round. So with this pick at 171, I am going Kyle Phillips, wide receiver out of UCLA. So here with our pick at 230, which is our last pick I think I'm going to get a developmental depth linebacker. The Packers lost Oren Burks, who obviously didn't do much, but they still lost him. Ty Summers should never see the defensive field. McDuffie is still developing, maybe is just a special teams player, who knows. But Aaron Hansford here out of Texas A&M, a former wide receiver turned linebacker, played a lot of snaps last year in 2021, 709 defensive snaps, had 73 tackles, 13 assisting tackles, and a pass rush grade of 70.0, a run defense grade of 78.2, coverage grade of 70.7, 20 coverage stops, 34 run stops. That's good for tied for 7th and 54th. And he's a violent hitter across the middle. Would be an early down linebacker to start his career if needed. And while he improves his pass coverage ability, he fits a 3-4 scheme. And really, it's just to get another special teams player, a depth player, and the Packers could use another one at linebacker. So with our last pick at 230, I'm going Aaron Hansford, linebacker out of Texas A&M. All right, so that does it for my Green Bay Packers 7-round mock draft version 8.0 as we near closer and closer to the actual draft where we can see what the Packers actually select. But for this mock draft, Chris Olave, who was the 17th ranked prospect with this draft board, this collective draft board, fell to 22. I was questioning trading up for Jameson Williams. He went a couple picks before where I would have traded up with the Saints. He did go to the Saints, but in their first pick, not their second. So Chris Olave, I'm happy with. I know I dropped him a lot, and it's kind of the same thing a lot, but I would be happy with that. I'd be ecstatic with Chris Olave draft at 22. I don't know if he'll be there, but if he is, the Packers should send the card up. Don't have to say much more about him. I've talked about him a lot. At pick 35, we traded down. Well, pick 28, we traded down, got both of the Jets' second-round picks, traded some other picks as well. We got their 35th and the 38. And with the first one, I drafted Lewis Cine out of Georgia. The Packers need a third safety, a safety for the future. The only safeties under contract next year, Vernon Scott, after they accept the fifth-year option for Darnell Savage, which I assume they will. He'll be the other one. But Lewis Cine will be the future at safety, a third safety that plays nearly 25% of snaps in this defense, and he would be a very, very good one. The dude is a violent hitter. The Packers need someone like that. He can play deep. He can play in the box. He could play sub-package linebacker. This dude is versatile, and I really like him. Could sneak into the bottom end of the first round. Like him here at 35. Same thing at 38. Arnold Ebiketie, one of my favorite pass rushers in this draft. A little bit older, but dude blew up last year. And the Packers, again, need a third pass rusher, just like they need a third safety. A third pass rusher plays even more snaps than a third safety, around 34, 35%, even 36%. So Ebiketie would be perfect for that role year one. Again, I would love him here at 38. I would even like him, honestly, at 28. So getting him here at 38 was awesome for me. And then at pick 53, got our second wide receiver in Sky Moore. A reminder, the Packers have not signed anyone when I'm making this video. If they sign Sammy Watkins in a couple hours, which, like I said, with my luck, probably will happen. Hey, things might change a little bit. But regardless, receiver still a dire need, and getting Sky Moore, adding him to Chris Olave. This dude's versatile, can play slot, can play outside, shouldn't put him in one spot. A yak guy, extremely elusive, would love to see him in the Matt LaFleur offense. And then at pick 59, we had 4 second-round picks, which is ridiculous. At pick 59, got Tyler Smith, who mainly played left tackle at Tulsa, an absolute bruiser in the run game, but probably will be a guard in the NFL. Could play right tackle in a pinch. Like I said, absolute bruiser in the run game. Would be nice to throw him down at guard, and then Elton Jenkins at right tackle when that time comes. Would be awesome to have him in the offensive line room. And then at 113, we traded up, finally drafted Jelani Woods, who I've been meaning to draft in one of these mocks. I really want him. The greatest RAS score at tight end of all time. This dude is an athletic beast, and the sky is the limit. Would love to add him to the tight end room. At 140, got some defensive line depth in Neil Farrell Jr. Could fill in at nose tackle, and in general just be, a run-stopping defensive lineman for the Packers. They need another guy, even after signing Jerron Reed. And then at 171, I got a third wide receiver in Kyle Phillips, who is primarily a slot receiver, pretty much played all slot at UCLA, but he's a good run blocker, and more importantly, can return punts, and he is good at it, which the Packers need, and that's exactly what they should get with their third receiver, a guy that could be developed and produce on special teams right away, whether that be punt return, kick return, gunner, all of that. That's what Kyle Phillips could do. Love him here at 171. And then our final pick in the 7th round at 230, just a depth linebacker in Aaron Hansford, an early down, run-stuffing, big hitter linebacker that could work on his coverage skills, but nonetheless a depth player that could also play special teams here at 230. But that does it for this mock draft. I want to hear thoughts down in the comments below about this mock. Again, I like this one a lot. I think it fits the Packers' needs and also addresses BPA at certain picks, best player available, which I really, really like as well. But let me know your thoughts on this draft in the comments. As always, if there's a player you don't like or what you do really like that I drafted, list that down below. And then also if there was a player on the board when I was picking that you really like, comment that as well. But that about does it for this video. Of course, I'll see you guys in my next mock draft next Thursday, version 9.0, so be on the lookout for that. But that about does it. I'll catch you on the next one. As always, go Packers.